real solutions to money, relationships, wellness, and more. Shine a light onto your day and into your life. Power Your Life with Dr. Joanne White.
Good evening and welcome to Power Your Life. I'm your host, Joanne White. What if you could remember who you were before you were born into this existence and into this body? It's a topic my first guest has studied for more than 40 years. Author Anne Preciado Rich is versed in human psychology, New Age mysticism, religion, and philosophy, and she recently released the fiction novel, My Cosmic Headphone, an uncommon novel. Anne, we can't wait to hear about your book.
Thank you.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Now, this is a very strange tale, and yet it has a lot in it that really gives some commentary about what's going on in our lives today. So why do you call it a book, a novel for revolutionary souls?
Well, actually, it's about a young girl who is sent to Earth to help heal the ages-old conflict between spirit and matter, between mind and body. The body has actually gotten kind of a bad rap for a long time, especially in the Western culture. But she is born on Earth and it grows up in the 1950s and 60s. So it's really kind of a continuation of the revolution of consciousness that began back in that era. And looking a little bit deeper into it and making it applicable to today as you follow her growing up through that era.
And, you know, it's not just about that time, but like you said, it is very applicable to what's going on today, and that rift kind of between mind and body still exists. Now, Zoe Lynn, that's the protagonist's name, Zoe Lynn.
Yes.
She's, what, a couple of 100 years old, right? Is that it?
Well, she's actually lived 333 lives on Earth. So this is her 333rd life on Earth. And she was very reluctant to return to Earth because, you know, it's full of fear and ignorance and violence. But Earth has this very intricately wired sensuality. And I'm not just talking about sexuality, but you have all these senses that in the story you don't find on any other planet. And she's been to other planets as well, but this time she's coming back to Earth again as a woman.
So when you're talking about senses and sensuality, it's not just like you said the sexual. It's about the beauty of this planet, what we're smelling, what we're tasting, and how she's enjoying those physical pleasures. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, all of it. Which, because of the way we've been indoctrinated on this world, all the fears and prejudices, especially about our bodies and sexuality, we have become kind of dulled and numb to those senses. We don't really have, when we're walking on the beach, are you really connected to the ocean? Do you really feel the ocean alive, that you're part of it, that it's part of you? Not so much anymore. It used to be in older pagan cultures, but this is something I've been recently experimenting with myself, actually. It's quite fun.
Well, also, like you said, you're walking on the beach or going somewhere and people are in such a rush, they're not pausing to take in the beauty of the moment, the beauty of the experiences. Now, you also have a very interesting background in psychology, and you've studied so much, and you've been influenced by certain prominent people in that are psychologists. So tell us about that.
Well, yes, I have a bachelor's and a master's in psychology. My two biggest influences would be Carl Jung. There's a lot of archetypal characters in the story that, well, started out that way, but they eventually took on a life of their own. And there's the whole issue of trying to find that golden life. which in Jungian psychology is alchemy. It's kind of combining the lesser elements of the personality into this much grander golden whole. And then the other person who was really influential for me was Wilhelm Reich. He's kind of a crazy guy, but he had these really great, all of the great psychologists had a little crazy in them. But he had this idea that sexual repression, as we grow up and we get all these bad vibes and attitudes about our sexuality, we develop this psychic armor to protect ourselves from being hurt. And in the process, we numb our senses. We become numb. Our sensuality becomes numb. So we aren't really getting this full sensory experience of our reality, of our environment. And he also said that those kind of people grow up to become, on the whole, authoritarian, fascist, who have little compassion.
Anne, what does your character discover, and what does the novel want to give us in terms of a message before we close?
That there's really a lot more to this life than we're accustomed to perceiving. And we need to unlearn a lot of the fear and judgment that we have learned about ourselves if ever we're going to kind of free ourselves from being victims, from being zombie slaves, right, to the cultural norm. And the other issue that is prominent that I didn't intend but kept coming out as I wrote the book was this notion of beginning to take the high road, of really developing gentle love and compassion and forgiveness for people. And it's a really hard lesson on this planet. In fact, she has to remember an old life that her spirit companions tell her about that is really painful. And the only way she's going to heal herself is if she learns to forgive it. That's the only way she's going to be able to take back her power.
Thank you so much, Anne. There's so much depth to this novel, folks, so make sure that you get a hold of it because I think it's wonderful. Anne, you're wonderful. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ahead on Power Your Life, dressing for work, what works? I'm joined by a fashion designer who shows us chic but fun looks for the office. And later, singer-songwriter Marcus Goldhaber is here to perform. Here's a preview as we go to the break.
Let wartime be gone. Let us be grateful and free. Come home, America.
Welcome back to Power Your Life. I'm your host, Joanne White. Next up, we're hitting the runway. How many nights have you thought, what am I going to wear tomorrow? Let fashion designer Chrissy Phillips help with that. With 15 years in the industry, this spunky designer creates fashions that are ideal for the office, but with a flair. I can't wait to see your clothing line, Chrissy. How are you?
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Good. I hear you have this gala palette coming up on February 8th.
Yes, I do. This is my annual fashion show, 14th annual fashion show, where I'll be showing my fall 2014 collection. It's also a fundraiser for a young audience of New Jersey and Eastern Pennsylvania. We have the same mission, same vision about children. They like to enhance a child's learning through the arts.
Arts, so it's arts and education, which is a great combination. Mm-hmm. And you also have a boot camp for kids during the summertime too, right?
Yes, ages from 11 to about 17, and we teach them every aspect about fashion. So no experience is needed. They learn everything. My 4 years of college in 3 weeks for these young kids.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. And I'm going to be at your fashion show, your extravaganza on February 8th. I'm excited about that.
You got your dancing shoes?
Do I need them?
Yes.
All right, I'll bring them. Okay. I'll wear them, I'll bring them. So you have such intricate and such beautiful designs for the office, and you actually have something that is just so chic, and I want to see it because sometimes I had some stodgy clothes going on when I was actually in corporate in terms of real business suits or whatever, but you have a totally new look. So talk about that a little bit.
I like, my design aesthetic is timeless beauty with a little flair. So one of my lines is executive chic. Well, I design executive chic, special occasion, and bridal. So my executive chic line is more business wear with a flair or a little edge to it. Because you don't have to look like a man, you know, to be in the corporate world, you know. So now that dresses are coming back and there's no more dress down Fridays, or it probably is, but you know, people still get dressed up. So I like to play on that.
And that style has been changing for several years, so it's not so formal at the office. It's about really showing off your femininity too. So
Absolutely,
it's
with
great.
power, but you still
Right, exactly.
Still with the power.
Right. So let's see what you have in store for us with your line.
Sure. First, right here we have Natasha. So this is part of the executive chic line. She's wearing a gray lace overlay with a deep maroon belt. We have a men's suiting for the bottom half, and we have a overlay flounce.
Very beautiful. So that's something she could wear at the office?
Right, and then also sometimes there might be a dinner, a business dinner that you have afterwards, and you're still appropriate, but a little looser.
Beautiful. Right, and she could actually add some different jewelry or whatever to dress it up, right?
Right, or dress it down, make it a little more formal. You can change it to a sequence belt. You can also change the heels, change out your nude platform, and you can put on like more of a sequins or stiletto heel.
So you know what it also does? It helps women save money too, because if they can wear something both evening and daytime and just dress it up, it has a totally different look.
I love
great.
transitional clothing. I love it.
Great.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Okay. Next we have Kenyatta. One of the aspects of my business, I create fabric. So I marbleize fabric. So this is Kenyatta. So we have aquamarine print that I did, and I do it by hand. And then I added just a little bit of sequins to transition also, to give it a little more flair.
So how do you get that marbleized look?
It's a secret.
Oh, okay, we're not giving away secrets. Okay, good. All right, don't tell us.
No, actually at my fashion show, we have a friend of mine makes paper and marbleizes paper. So he's coming and he's going to have my guests make scarves at the fashion show so you can see.
Oh, that's lots of fun. Great, thanks.
Thank you, Kenyatta. Next we have Janelle. This is my special occasion.
Wow, beautiful.
So this is simplistic, but yet a little elegant. We have the flounce that goes cascades all the way down the front, the waterfalls down the front, with a large bow, because I like a little bit of drama to the my special occasion outfits, but still to be timeless. She can wear this for many years. I even wore it with a pair of denim jeans over top with a killer boot. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You also have a men's line too. Thank you.
Men's neckwear. I do men's neckwear because that's how
ties that bind.
Right, and that's how men show their creativity. They can wear the same suit every day of the week. No woman knows the difference, but if she changes her tie, if he changes his tie, then that shows his personality. So.
And we're paying attention too, right?
Exactly.
So tell us what else is in store with your line and with your design.
Well, you will see on February 8th my executive chic special occasion and bridal. It's a fun-filled evening. I was so fortunate to have Nissan of Turnersville be one of the sponsors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We have Colleen's Catering. We have a 4-course meal. We have dancing. We have vendors and silent auction area. So it's a really fun evening.
Sounds wonderful, and I'll be there, so it's wonderful. And thanks so much for actually what you do, and it's beautiful, and so are the models, and so are you.
Thank you, thank you. So are you.
Thank you. Coming up, we're getting jazzed with singer-songwriter Marcus Goldhaber. Stay with us. My next guest is New York's acclaimed singer-songwriter Marcus Goldhaber. Sorry about that. Renowned for his unique jazz style, his songs range from jump and swing to melancholy. Marcus recently released a very special song, an ode to our nation's 2 million military members across the globe, as well as the 24 million veterans here in America. We'll hear it soon, but first let's talk about your music. Hello, Marcus. Sorry for mispronouncing your name.
That's quite all right. You wouldn't be the first.
Well,
that's all right.
You do so much, and what you're doing with this Come Home America, which we're going to hear, thank you very much, I heard a preview earlier, is really a way to actually bridge the gap between what's been going on with military families and with civilians. So tell us more about that, and also about the organization that's benefiting from it.
That's right. So this is a song I was asked to write over a year ago to benefit the troops around 9/11, and coming from a jazz background, I really didn't know exactly where to start, but I sort of closed my eyes and listened to what I thought was really going on around me in society, and this notion, this separation between a civilian lifestyle and a military lifestyle really stuck out to me. And so I wanted to capture that in song. I wanted to be able to bring this, the importance of that marriage between a civilian and a military lifestyle. I wanted to raise the importance of that and bring that issue to the forefront through music. That's my method
Right.
of communication.
Right. And I think it's very effective, and it's very moving, and just it really gets to your heart, and I believe that your mission, the goal for it, is really something that will be and is being accomplished.
I hope so. We've been lucky enough to pair up with a wonderful organization called IAVA, or IAVA, and which stands for Iraq, Afghanistan Veterans of America. And it's the largest organization, nonprofit organization that is geared towards benefiting the needs of those soldiers, soon to be veterans, coming home as we speak. And they're doing fantastic work, and it's really it's very enriching to hear about all that's going on that is positive in nature, as opposed to how much more work there is to do solely, which there is.
Right.
But there's so much being done to help veterans, to connect veterans with civilians.
You know, and
alike.
again, I think the work is so important, and it is very important that we recognize that the people, the vets that are coming back, need our support and need our love, and you certainly are accomplishing that. Thanks so much, Marcus.
Well, thanks for having me. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Marcus was kind enough to stop by our studio earlier today, and he performed his song, Come Home America. Let's take a look.
Welcome home, my warrior. Is the fighting really done? You've been gone forever, it seems, and there are many who think we won. But how do you feel? And can it be real? Welcome home, my warrior. Though you don't know who I am, I thought about you every day, waking up in a far-off land. And all I can say is God bless today. Come home, America, let wartime be gone. Come home, America, please take my hand. I want you walking with me. When you left your family, they didn't know if you'd survive. Every night they waited to hear that somehow you were still alive. And if you came home now and then, you were sent back soon again. has been struggling on, and we've been living on day to day. I swear to God I haven't forgotten every sacrifice that you made. And to the soldiers who have died, we bear your name. Come home, America, let wartime be gone. Let us be grateful and free. Come home, America, please take my hand. I want you walking with me. Hurry back, we're waiting for you. There's a child and a dad you need to see. When you walk off that plane, there'll be so much to do in a country that's crazy about you. Come home to America. Come home to America. Come home to America. To America. Come home to America. Come home to America. Come home to America. Come home.
That's it for Power Your Life. Join me next week for a preview of the documentary film When Voices Meet. It tells the story of the peace train and a woman's battle living in South Africa during Nelson Mandela's leadership. I hope to see you then. Remember that you have the power to power your dreams and power your life.